Welcome to the Childcare Director's Chair, the podcast for bold educators who are ready to lead, grow, and shake things up in early childhood education. Whether you're a teacher eyeing that lead role, a lead stepping into leadership, or a center owner dreaming big, this is your space to grow with purpose and leave your mark. Hosted by heart-centered leadership coach Erica Sacoccio, each episode brings you real talk, actionable tools, and a contagious laugh or two, all designed to help you step into your next level with confidence. So pour your coffee, pop in those earbuds, and take your seat, because your leadership journey starts right now in the Childcare Director's Chair.
Good morning, Connecticut. I am in Connecticut today. If you are at the Connecticut AEYC conference, come stop by our booth today. Now, if you're not in Connecticut, don't worry. We are making the rounds this year. So we'll be up in Maine. We're going to be in New Jersey. We're going to be in New York. I'll be in Florida at the CDA conference that's coming up in a couple weeks. Lots of stuff going on. I am out there. I cannot wait to connect with all of you. So welcome back to the Childcare Director's Chair podcast. If you're a director, owner, or leader, you know the feeling. Spending hours creating, or even worse, finding professional development for your staff, only to have it sit unused. Your team might attend a conference, but they don't implement anything, and you're left wondering, why do I even bother? Well, today I'm sharing 10 strategies that will help you get your staff excited about PD, hold them accountable, and actually see results in your program. These tips are about creating a culture where learning is valued, supported, and applied. But before we dive in, here's a little quick shout out to our sponsors at Jackrabbit Care, because they make running your center easy. They make training and communication across your center a breeze. So if you want to spend less time managing paperwork and more time growing as a leader, go check them out. Their tool really is a great way to help your staff stay connected with the families and to help you as well run your business. So the link is in the show notes below. So let's get into it. Your staff cannot implement PD if they don't know what's expected. When you assign training, don't just send them a link and hope for the best. Take a few minutes to explain why it matters, how it applies specifically to their role, and what you'd like them to take away from that particular conference or training. Maybe even explain to them why you think that is a good session for them to take. Because when the expectations are clear, your staff feel more confident in applying what they learned, and they're less likely to ignore it. And you want to tie PD to real outcomes. People are motivated when they see the impact of what they're learning. So make sure your team understands the tangible benefits of implementing new skills, whether it's smoother classroom routines, better engagement with children, or improved parent communication. But connect each PD topic to real-world results that matter both to your staff and your program. And of course, lead by example. If you want your staff to adapt new practices, well, you have to model that yourself. So show your team that you're implementing what you've asked them to do, and share your successes, of course your mistakes, and your learning along the way. Because when your staff see you walking the talk, they're far more likely to follow your lead. Now, I go to more conferences than most. Sometimes I go as a participant. Sometimes I go as the speaker. Sometimes I go as a vendor, and you just interacting with everybody there. But no matter what role I am in that position of when I'm at a conference, I always take something back. And if you go to a conference for 3 days and you come back and nothing changes and there's no conversation with your team about the impact of that conference or session, you're showing them that it doesn't matter if you implement it or not. Even if you come back and say, hey guys, I spent 3 days at the XYZ event. I thought I was going to gain something from it. Maybe it wasn't what I thought it was going to be, but here is what I did get from it. Here are some unexpected areas of growth that I got from it. But something, have a conversation about it. Typically it's, did you do that training? Okay, great. Give me the certificate. And you put it in, the training book, or you upload it to your state's portfolio, however it happens in your state. But if that's how you're doing it, you're part of the problem. So I'm sorry, we have to keep it real here. And you want to make it interactive. PD is much more effective when staff can actively engage with it. Instead of sending them a long video, a PDF, include decision opportunities. Like, ask them, like, okay, now that you learned this, what would you do with that information? Give them some discussion prompts or reflective exercises. I love reflective exercises. I use them in my coaching program all of the time. Even role-playing activities are really fun. You can ask your staff to share examples or practice skills in peers or small groups, because interactive learning sticks because people are actively doing, not just watching, not just reading. And celebrate the wins. Recognition matters. Whenever staff apply new skills or demonstrate learning from the PD, celebrate it. Highlight it in a staff meeting, send it in a shout-out email, or even give a small token of recognition. When people feel seen for their effort, they're motivated to continue implementing new ideas and sharing best practices with others. Because so often we're recognizing that they got the certificate, even if they did nothing with it. So there's some food for thought there, my friends. Now, it's all great and good. We want them to do all these things, but you also have to provide the time and support. Even the most motivated staff can struggle to implement new skills if they don't have time and support. So schedule moments during the day or the week for staff to practice, to reflect and ask questions. Be available to coach or troubleshoot, but make PD part of the workday rather than something extra. And it also helps staff integrate learning naturally. So it could be, take 2 things that you learned about in that session about setting up your block area. I'm going to cover your classroom for the next 30 minutes. Can you go to your block area and make the changes that you want to make based on what you just learned was best practice? And that's just an example. And I'm sure that you could think of many more. And create accountability structures. Accountability is key. Follow up individually or in small groups to ask how staff are using what they learned. This also helps you as a childcare owner decide what sessions and what people are you going to continue to hire are the ones that are going to make the impact in your program. So ask your staff. If you're holding PD days on site at your program or you're collaborating, ask your staff. I know there are some individuals who are very fun and entertaining, and I could even be possibly one of them. But if it didn't move the needle 2 weeks later, was it a good investment? Maybe for entertainment purposes, but you need to make sure that these sessions that your teachers are going to, they're implementing. So encourage discussion about success, challenges, and next steps. Because when staff knows someone is checking in and supporting them, they're more likely to take PD seriously and apply it consistently. And then, of course, encourage peer mentorship. Peer mentorship can really make PD stick even more than top-down directives. Peer staff to practice new skills, observe each other, and offer each other feedback. Because peer accountability fosters collaboration. It builds confidence. It's such a reciprocal relationship. And it creates team culture where everyone helps each other grow. Can you imagine if all the flowers watered each other? Oh my God, what a beautiful garden you would have. And make it fun. Learning does not need to be boring. Gamify your PD. Create challenges. Earn badges. Celebrate milestones. You can even have a friendly competition or small rewards for teams that implement new strategies. Fun creates energy and excitement around PD. So staff look forward to the next opportunity to learn. It's really a pretty simple concept, guys. We do this with children. Adults are not any different. So, hands-on opportunities, make it fun, follow up, and of course, finally, involve your staff in shaping the PD. Ask them what they found helpful. Ask them what they'd like to see more of. Ask them how the training can be improved. And when staff have ownership in the process, they're more engaged and invested in making it work. And feedback also helps you refine future PD. So it's relevant, meaningful, and actionable. And speaking about growth, I'm just gonna put this in here too. Speaking about growth, wouldn't it be amazing if you could have folks on your team that are really good in certain areas train the rest of the staff in a PD and then follow up so it's not a one-off? I think it's a great idea. So remember, as a director, your attention, your accountability sets the tone. Staff will show up when you give the energy, you model the behavior, and you celebrate the progress. Because professional development works when it's meaningful, when it's supported, and when it's applied, not just assigned. So if today's episode gave you some new ideas, leave a review on Apple Podcasts and share your best strategies for getting staff to implement their PD. I would love to hear what works in your program. And check out our website at www.childcaredirectorschair.com. We have tons of workshops. We'd be happy to come out to your center and provide a workshop for you. So anyway, that's it for today. I hope you had a great day, and thank you for always tuning in to the Childcare Directors Chair podcast.
That's a wrap for this episode of the Childcare Director's Chair, where we believe leaders aren't born, they're grown. If something sparked for you today, share it, shout it out, or pass it along to the next bold changemaker in childcare. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and stay connected with Erica Sacosio for more real talk leadership tools and a whole lot of inspiration. Until next time, lead with heart, grow with fire, and always remember, the chair is yours. Now own it.